सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। We continue our study in the section 9, courtesy of approach and questioning. Very beautiful section over here, which paints a picture of the mental attitude of a student, mental attitude of a teacher as well. And this creates a synergy between the student and the teacher so that the transference of vidya can take place. So 33. Shrotriyo vrajino kama hatoyo brahma-vid-tamaha brahmanyuparata shanto nirandhana ivanalah ahetukadaya sindhuhu bandhuranamatam satam. Over here, the beautiful qualifications of the teacher is talked about over here, and the teacher is over here yaha brahma-vid-tamaha. The first definition of a teacher is he who is the knower of the self. Brahma-vid-tamaha, not just knower of Brahman, but he is best among the knowers of Brahman, the direct experience and abidance in this Brahman. Yaha brahma-vid-tamaha shrotriyaha, and the teacher, not only the knower of the truth, but the teacher is very well versed in scriptures, shrotriyaha. And then avrajinaha, taintless, sinless. The abidance of this teacher is not that he is, after knowing the truth, what sin does he have? What sin does he commit? Doesn't commit any sin. Life continues as per the prarabdha karma. Sanchit karma is all burned of the teacher. So over here, what is meant by avrajinaha, sinless or taintless, is no trace of avidya, no trace of ignorance. That shrotriya, complete abidance in Shastra, both parts of Shruti. The first portion of the Shruti is, the subject matter is none other than Dharma. And the second portion of the Shruti, the subject matter is Brahman, Upanishad. So abidance in dharma, abidance in Brahma, and such a person, there is absolutely no taint. Akamahataha, completely destroyed all types of desire. Kamanas are not there, and completely, Bhagavan Krishna also uses this. Prajahadiyada kaman sarvan parthimanogatan. So, the insignia of the man of wisdom, Sthita Prajna, over here, Shankaracharya ji, he borrows the same terminology from Shruti and Smriti. So, Smriti also says the same thing. Akamahataha, completely destroyed all types of kamana. Brahmani uparataha shantaha. The person, the guru over here, Brahmani uparataha, the one who is completely absorbed in self. Uparataha, absorbed, is abiding. So moment to moment to moment, the energy of the mind and the intellect is only diverted towards the self. What else is there? Kim karyam asti? What else remains for this Mahatma to be acquired, to be achieved? Nothing. He has reached the acme, so what does he do? He, having reached over there, abides in the self. And that's it. So, Brahmani uparataha shantaha, naturally is absorbed in deep silence. Not only are they absorbed in silence, but whoever comes in their contact, they can feel the Mahatma's silence. So, shantaha. Nirandhana iva analaha. This fire, analaha, the fuel when it runs out in the Homa Kunda, when we invoke the fire for a particular Homam, the fire will continue to burn after the Homa is done. At the end, Vasodhara is done, so much ghee is poured into this Homa Kunda. And after the Homam is over, the priest and the Yajman and everybody will take the leave of the Yajnashala. But in the Yajnashala, the fire will continue to burn. So much fuel is there, Purnahuti was done, and all that was put in the Purnahuti has to be consumed. But once it is all consumed, what will happen to the fire? In due time, the fire will be completely burned out. Nirandhana iva. There is no fuel remaining. Nothing remains over there to be burned. And in this way, complete sanchita karmas are burned to ashes. There is no fuel remaining in the Vasanamaya kosha. There is nothing remaining. Prarabdha is there, but as per the prarabdha, if he has to teach the students, he will teach. If he has to abide in silence, he will abide in silence. If he has to go from one village to another village, he will do all that. Munirna vyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatamaha pure pauran pashyan narayuvati nama kritimayan. You know, in Jivan Muktananda Lahari, Shankaracharya ji very beautiful paints a picture of the mind of the person who is abiding in his self. Pure Pauran Pashyan, he will go to the city and then he will see Nama Krutimayan. He will see various names and forms and even women and everybody he will see, but the mind is not at all. Munirna vyamoham. The mind has absolutely no moha with anything. Bhajati guru diksha kshatatamaha. Kshata. okay, come to an end. Tamas, all types of fuel has been reduced. Shuddha sattva, not even malina sattva, abides in it. Guru Diksha Kshatatamaha. Guru Diksha, having been being initiated into this Brahma Vidya by his own Guru. And the greatest initiation of this Brahma Vidya, this Guru is abiding. And who is he? Ahetuka Daya Sindhu. He is a causeless ocean of compassion. Bandhuhu and Anamatam Satam Bandhuhu. Anamatam, those who completely bow down to him, take refuge in him. Satam, the good people who have understood the glory of this Mahatma, and they come over there and they bow down to them. He is Bandhuhu, he is the best friend of such a people. In this way, beautiful way in which Shankaracharya ji is describing this Lakshana of a Guru, very, very, very beautiful. Continuing, Tamaradya Gurum Bhaktya Prakva Prashraya Sevanaihi Prasannam Tamanuprapya Vruched Jnatavyamaatmanaha. So over here, Tam Gurum Bhaktya Aradhya. Such a Guru, Tam Guru, that Guru. Which Guru? In the last shloka, which was described that such a person, Shrotriyo Brahmanishtaha. Such a Guru, the two Lakshanas, the one who abides in Brahman, well versed in Shastra. The Guru had a teacher. Iti Shushuruma Purvesham. It is mentioned in Keno Upanishad. What I have heard from my teacher is what I am teaching you, and I have benefited. So it is Parampara Prapta Jnanam. And this Parampara Prapta Jnanam is time tested. It is completely tested, verified by a lineage of Mahatmas. Such a qualified teacher is Tam Aradhya, Tam Gurum Aradhya. Such a teacher is worthy of being worshipped. We should worship Bhaktya, with great devotion, Prakva, with great Vinay, surrender, Prashraya, with humility, Namrata, Sevanaihi, and by service. So how can we Aradhya Gurum Bhaktya? How do we do it? How do we serve a Mahatma? Number one, we serve Mahatma by serving the platform of the Mahatma. We serve the Mahatma by following his instructions. We serve a Mahatma by continuing this lineage and not severing this knowledge. If we have been a worthy recipient of Brahma Vidya, we should contribute to the cause of teaching. In this way we can serve, and of course the last is actually serving the Mahatma, making sure they are taken care of. Prarabdha is there on each one of us, and as per Prarabdha, ups and downs are there in life. So making sure that the Mahatma is taken care of. Minimum Bhiksha and a place and clothing, etc. All of that is talked about with great humility, seeking nothing in return, and with Vinaya. Vinaya with great amount of due regard. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shmichai Vashvapakecha. So over here, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. So with Vidya comes Vinaya, humility, and a way in which one should conduct one's self. Vinaya Purvak. Vinaya Purvak Shravanam. Vinaya Purvak Mananam. Vinaya Purvak Nididhyasana. And Varana. Varana with a personal choice to be there. Having surrendered, the surrender should reach its acme of absolute surrender to Mahatma. In this way, Prahva Prashraya Sevanaihi Tam Prasannam Gurum, please the teacher, and then Prapya, having reached such a guru, Pruche, may you come to ask, Jnatavyam Atmanaha, you come to ask the guru about what is to be learned. What is to be learned, and what is to be learned is Atma Vastu. Atmanaha, Pruche Jnatavyam Atmanaha. Because the only proper source of knowing that which is beyond my perception is Aptavakya of a Guru and Shruti Pramana. And that can only come from Guru. Shruti Praman can only come from a Guru. Guru who enlivens the Shruti Vakya Vedic aphorisms. Jiva Brahma Aikya. No Guru is required for Pratyaksha Praman. If something I see, this is a cup, what teacher will I need to learn that this is a cup? And it is made from some clay and then glazed and put some brick red color and whatnot. Just by looking at it, we can learn about the Mayavi Jagat. No Praman is required to understand Maya. She is Pratyaksha in front of us. But Atma is not Pratyaksha. It is Aparoksha. Aparoksha Jnana. That is why over here, Pruche Jnatavyam, that which is to be known, which is what? Atmanaha. Atma is what is to be questioned. Maya is not to be questioned. Gurudev once asked Tapovanji Maharaj some question, and he immediately brought Chinmayananda to the teaching. He says, did you come all the way over here to Uttarkashi to learn about Atmavastu or Maya? And immediately Gurudev figured out, yes, what is to be learned is Atmavastu. No Guru is required to learn about Maya. It is Pratyaksha. In university, people study biology, chemistry, physics. Those gurus are there. But that's why each one of these classes, theory is there and then lab is there to prove that what we are learning is correct. So lab just verifies the theory. So the theory is Shastra. And verification is what? Verification is Brahmanishtha. So the experiment that the teacher has put himself through is he meditated upon his Guru Vakya, Shruti Vakya, assimilated it, And such a guru who has verified the truth knows it, and only such a person can be a guide and say, Pruche Jnatavyam Atmanaha. In this way, it is talked about. Continuing, Swamin Namaste Nataloka Bandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdho Mamudaratmiya Kataksha Drushtya Rujvyati Karunya Sudhabhivrishtya. So, very beautiful, a mental state of the student is described over here. His approach. He has approached Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru. The Guru's beautiful state of mind was discussed in the previous 2 shlokas. And now the mental state of the student, Namaste, the student bows down. Swami Namaste. Oh great Swami. Over here Swami, see, Swami is a title. And it's a title to who? The one who knows the self. Swami, one who is a lord of one's own self, is Swami. So, in South India, even Devatas, Bhagavan is called Swami. Swata Siddha, and they abide in their own respective powers and prowess, etc. So, Hey Swami, Namaste. Devata, the teacher, is nothing but Devata. Nataloka Bandhaha. You are Bandhaha, friend of Natalokaha, people who have bowed down to you. And you are Karunya Sindho. You are the ocean of compassion. And see, he is reiterating all this to create a mental surrender to a teacher. It is important that the student mentally goes through it and verbally expresses to the teacher so that the teacher-student relationship can be strengthened. The student has accepted the teacher, and the teacher understands the mental state, and the teacher is inspired to even teach such a student who is hungry of learning. Patitam bhavabdo. Oh teacher, I have fallen into this ocean of samsara. Patitam bhavabdo. Mam uddharatmiya kataksha drishta. Tava kataksha drishta, by your side glances. Mam uddharatmiya. You please lift me. Or teacher, you please remove me from this ocean of plurality. Bhava, bhava meaning change. Patitam bhava abdi, the ocean of change. Continuously the change inflicts upon us a different state of mind. But the teacher, even though born out of the world, sustained by the world, yet far away from the world, because the knowledge has rebuilt the antakarana, and the antakarana only abides in the changeless self. And because they have metamorphosed themselves into this changeless absolute Brahman, which all of us are to begin with. But because of the power of avidya and ignorance, we have slipped into this ocean of samsara, and we allow the changes of the samsara to affect us. The teacher does not allow the changes of the samsara to modify their own antakarana. This is the glory of the teacher. The student says, I am fallen in the samsara and I am afflicted by it. But thou abides in Swami. You abide in your own glory of Absolute. And thus only you can rescue me. You please by your side glances of compassion, your side glances of eyes filled with grace. Remove the obstacles of my mind. Mam uddaratmiya. You uplift me by your cooling words, by your side glances, by removal of all my obstacles. Rujvati karunya sudhabi vrishtiya. Your sudha abhivrishtiya, your glances are like the sudha, the amrita kalasha, the ambrosia, the divine nectar of the absolute bliss which he abides in. Sudha abhivrishtiya, the very cooling glances which shower upon me the greatness of your wisdom and your with a direct glance from the eyes, rain this nectarine philosophy onto me. Ati karunya, your eyes which are filled with great compassion, and rujvyati, which heals, which completely uplifts, which completely brings the jiva to a state of bliss just by being in the presence of such a Mahatma that just showers cooling glances onto a person who is afflicted by the change. Continuing, Durvar samsara davagni taptam dodhuyamanam duradushtavataihi bhitam prapannam paripahi mrutyoho sharanyamanyam yadaham na jane. Over here, Durvara samsara davagni taptam. This roasted in this inferno of samsara. In the last shloka, he is fallen into the ocean of change. The same ocean over here is yet taken another simile, a forest fire of samsara. The same idea, but I am this Durvara samsara davagni taptam, the fire of samsara, the fire of change, the continuous blaze, inferno of one moment it is conducive, the very next moment it is not conducive. In this way, Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodhuyamanam, being tossed here and there in this forest fire of samsara, duradushtavataihi, by the storms of misfortune. You know, in Southern California they had so much forest fire. It is the Santa Ana winds which were responsible for burning so many portions of LA. It's this hot wind which fuels the fire. That is what is talked about over here. Duradushta vataihi. Vataihi, the winds. The winds, duradushta. The very misfortune that these hot winds bring. In no time, the whole house is set on fire like a matchbox. In no time, a huge building is reduced to ashes. Dura dushta vataihi. Such is the inferno of samsara. One moment living in a mansion, other moment the mansion is just wiped out. Nothing remains. So, bhitam sharanyam anyat sharanyam, aranyam anyat, other than you, sharanyam, refuge, yad aham na jane, I do not know any other way of coming out of this fire of samsara. And he says, mam mrutyoho bhitam prapannam paripahi. And this forest fire certainly brings about death. Mam mrutyoho bhitam, and this death also brings about fear. Other than you, who will help me? Prapannam paripahi mrutyoho. You please save me from this fear and death, which is but certain in this, death which is absolutely certain in this forest fire of samsara. Other than you, I don't know who to surrender to. In this way, very beautifully, the mental state of mind of a student is talked about over here. Durvara samsara davagmutaptam dodhuyamanam duradushtavataihi bhitam prapannam paripahi mrutyoho sharanyamanyat yadaham na jane. Other than you, I don't know who else to approach. Continuing the next shloka. Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasantavat lokahitam charantaha tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan ahetu nanyanya tarayantaha. As though, Shankaracharya ji interjects between this dialogue, the state of mind of the guru, the state of mind of the student, and Shankaracharya ji feels like in this very beautiful meeting of a guru and shishya, he feels like he has to give some commentary on this beautiful scene that he is seeing in front of him. So, he's saying, Shanta, peaceful, Mahantaha. Mahantaha is magnanimous. Santaha, the saintly soul of the teacher. And Nivasanti, the teacher who lives. Shanta, Mahantaha, Santaha, Nivasanti, Vasantavat lokahitam charanti. Such a great teacher dwells in this world. And then someone may ask, what is the purpose of this teacher? They have reached the absolute goal of life, this complete eradication of avidya, and just such a great, peaceful, magnanimous personality dwells, and they are vasantavat lokahitam charantaha. Why do they live? They live for the sake of people. Vasantavat, like a spring breeze. Vasantavat lokahitam charantaha. Just like a spring arrives and the whole Prakriti is uplifted. The trees respond by having the honeybees return from their hibernation. The birds are chirping, making their nests and getting ready to create next year's inhabitants. People are happy. Creation is peaceful. And in the spring, everybody is happy. The weather is just perfect. So, Vasantavat Lokahitam, the Vasant Rutu has arrived for uplifting the entire society from a very difficult winter. Winter in Canada and cold places. And when spring comes, long, long winters are there. A brief-lived spring, but everybody looks forward to that short-lived spring. So, Vasantavat Lokahitam Charantaha. They move about in the samsara only to uplift people. Tirna Swayam. They themselves have crossed the ocean of samsara. They have escaped the fire of samsara. Bhima Bhavarnava, they have crossed this great Bhima, great Arnava ocean. So, Tirna Swayam Bhima Varnam Janan, and these Swayam Bhima Arnavam Tirna Anyan api ahetuna tarayantaha. Anyan api, others, ahetuna, without any cause. Tarayanti, they give them a way of coming out of samsara. Just like when somebody is fallen into a river, or when they are fallen into a ocean from a boat, from the boat itself they will throw for rescue a tire or a life-saving jacket or something, and the person will be brought back into the boat. In the same way, fallen into the very ocean of samsara, the teacher has reached the shores. So from that shore of comfort, he is throwing out rescue jackets, so to speak, ahetuna, without any cause, because they have crossed the ocean and they want to help out others reach this shore of absolute bliss. Tirna Swayam ahetuna anyan api tarayantaha. Such is a glory of a Mahatma who very beautifully rescues the student from this. Continuing. Ayam svabhavaha svata eva yat para shramapanoda pravanam mahatmanam sudham shuresha swayamarka karkasha prabhavitapta bhavati kshitim kila. So, this another beautiful shloka over here. Ayam swabhavaha mahatmanaha swabhavaha. This great Mahatma, his nature, swata eva yat param, the one who has a very divine nature and who has crossed the ocean as well. Eva yat para shramapanoda pravanam mahatmanam. So, inclination to remove the troubles of others. This this teacher Mahatmanam, Sudham Shureshaha, this moon, Sudha Amshu, this moon rays in the night time. The rays which come from the moon are so cooling. And Swayam Arka Karkashaha, the Prithvi which has been heated up by sun during the daytime. And at night time when this beautiful moon comes, the rays of the moon cools the completely sun-scorched earth and people. In the same way, the nature of the Mahatma, such a great magnanimous personality, it is his nature to, just like it is the nature of moon to cool down people and Mother Earth, in the same way, it is the nature of this glorious Mahatma to rescue people who have fallen into this ocean of samsara. Prabhavitaptam bhavati kshitim kila. This kshitim, this Mother Earth, Avati, she is saved by the very presence of moon. In the same way, people are saved by the very presence of Mahatma. And this becomes the only purpose of Mahatma. There is nothing else remaining for such a Mahatma who has given everything for the sake of liberation of others. They themselves swayam tirna anyasyapi tarayati. The ones who have crossed and they become the cause of others to take over. Once somebody had asked Swami Chinmanaji, are you self-realized? And his answer is so beautiful. He said, I have reached the gateways of liberation. I am waiting outside the gate, waiting for you to come in. What a beautiful reply. What a beautiful reply. Because if he says he is realized, then he knows not. So, he says, I am outside the gates of liberation. He's reached over there, but yet not reached by this language. So he knows the path, he's over there, he's reached up to over there, and he's waiting for us to go in. After you go in, I will make sure the gates of heaven remain open for you, your friends, family members, others, and I will stay guard over here. This is the glory of Mahatma. Ayam Swabhavaha. He is Swata Eva Yat Para. Having reached over there, but yet compassionate enough to take everybody over. We'll continue tomorrow. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.